It's more than just the gossip. It's the issues that matter most to you. A closer look at current events, just the tip, special guests, and more. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe, Arizona's longest-running drag live stream. Hosted by Felicia Fefe Minor and Freddy Prinze Charming. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe.
Good evening, everyone. That's fine. I got you, Guido. Welcome to season 10, episode 17 of Let's Have a Fefe. Felicia is still getting ready, so I am starting the show. I was in a lot more clothes, but it got really fucking hot, so this is what you get. It's fine. This is your Wednesday night conversation. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. I am Freddy Prinze Charming with no current titles, thank the Lord. And tonight we actually have a twofer as far as our special guest. We have Brandon McGill, if he ever manages to get on here. We also have Guido Martin, who is all of the things extraordinaire. He does all sorts of things. We'll be talking to him a little bit later. Before we get started, of course, I'd like to cover our housekeeping. We'd like to say thank you to our patrons, Allison, Brandon, Cassandra, Drake, Casey Starr, Karen, Corey, Kim, Joan, Jody, Leanne, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Sassy, Shannon, Shelley, and Sky. Of course, a very special thanks to our friends and supporters, Patricia Mason, Sky, and Drake Jensen for going deep on Patreon and taking the deeper plunge. And special thanks, of course, to Joan of Babish Jewelry and Wood Art, Guido, of course, who you can see right there in the lovely bowler hat, Jeremy Bright of Purple Phoenix. You can donate to us and help us do these things by going to paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. We do accept tips, sponsorships, all sorts of things. You can also text LHAF to 602-730-7379 for updates about the show and texts from Felicia Minor. I am not responsible for anything that you may or may not receive from her. Also, there's this new thing that we are trying to, I guess, push a little bit on the Facebook. You can click on the stars button and we can earn some money. I think we're up to what, $2, $1.75 still. It's fine.
$2.
It's whatever. That's good. That's good. So Felicia, how was your? Oh, go ahead.
The stars.
Did we lose Brandon?
Neat. Did we lose him? Was he there?
No, he went away. I don't know where he went. He can't get on. I don't know why he can't get on.
Did we have this problem with him the last time?
I feel like we might have. It says connecting. I don't know. Do you want to try and troubleshoot him? Because Lord knows I can't.
In the meantime, this weekend was I don't think it was that eventful. Maybe it was. We did cat bingo.
That was so much
fun. Yeah. And then I don't think I did anything on Saturday that I can remember. I'm sure somebody will remind me later. And then on Sunday, I did Majik at Stacy's. So it was a busy weekend, but there was like a break in between, but not really, because with a 2-year-old running around my house. And I went to a birthday party. That's what I did on Saturday. I went to a birthday party. A Puerto Rican birthday party at that.
Oh,
so
that sounds exciting.
Let's just say the adults get very turned up at parties.
Yes, they do. Anybody that's ever been to any kind of Hispanic or Latino party, if it's a birthday party, it's so funny. It's like you have like this kid's turning like 2, so we're gonna get sloshed. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
and everybody had, like, a drink in their hand, not the
mhm.
kids, but
Yep.
the adults, and I
Yeah.
thought, "Oh
Yep.
my
They're the best
goodness."
damn parties. They're the best damn parties.
Yeah. So, yep, that's what I
So
did on Saturday. Maybe that's why I can't remember it.
but that makes sense. My weekend wasn't supposed to be busy, but it ended up being busy. Cat bingo on Friday, which was always a good time. And then I like got home probably around midnight or so. I guess because we always stay a little bit late, so it was like by the time I got home and got showered, it was after midnight. And I had to get up at the ass crack of dawn on Saturday because I got to do my first in-person drag story hour since before the pandemic. I was very excited about that. Brick Road Coffee in Tempe is absolutely adorable. The owners are fantastic. It was great. I may or may not, Felicia, have pitched a couple of things to them.
Oh,
So
I've talked to
just
them a
saying.
couple times.
Um, but it was so much fun. It felt so good to be back. Like I miss doing the in-person drag story times. Like I love them. Then I came home, I showered, I took a nap, then I went and got my hair cut. Okay, so on Saturday, I swear to God, I drove back and forth on the same stretch of the 51 like 8 times. I was going to kill someone. Just because that's what
Don't
happened.
kill people.
So drove and then after my nap, I drove down to Chandler to go get my hair cut and then drove home. And then my partner and I went to dinner at this fabulous little Thai place. It was really good. And I was very excited. We all know I love the Thai food. And then came back home. So there's back and forth on the 51 right there. And then back home to change because a friend of mine is leaving for IML today,
Ooh.
and there was like a send-off party at Anvil, so we went to Anvil, which of course is another back and forth on the
Ooh.
51. Slept in a bit on Sunday, then we decided to go to the Asian market because I had to get some sticky rice because we finally got bamboo steamer, so I had to make sure I got sticky rice so I can make the sticky rice. Ran some errands, and then oh my god, so we all know that I pride myself on like thrift shopping and deals and stuff. We found the best goddamn deal. So our house, we're trying to like kind of decorate it kind of industrial, little
Oh,
steampunk kind of,
I was excited about
and
this.
oh my god. So a couple weeks ago, Dee sent me a picture of this, like it's a bar cabinet. And she sent me a picture of it and she's like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "That's pretty cool." Like it looks like a porthole, like a on a ship kind of thing. Like it's round, it's pretty cool.
But
And
the
it
online
looks
picture doesn't do it any justice. I mean,
oh
the one
no.
that's
Yeah. Oh my
no,
god.
I mean
So I'm looking at this, I'm like,
the link that
mm,
you sent is
oh
not
yeah.
do it justice, but the
No.
picture is like,
So
"What?"
well, the one that we got from OfferUp, I'm like, okay, this is cute. Like I didn't think it was that big. I'm like, this is cute, whatever. And then we finally, the guy I guess didn't have like his notifications or anything like that turned on, so he didn't get the message about it until a while ago. And then he messaged us, and he was like, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it for 300, but I'm really flexible on the price. Here's the dimensions. So we offered him 150, and we got 150. And we got the dimensions, and I'm looking at these dimensions and I'm like, that seems really big. Is it really that big? Like it just seemed really like, I was like, okay, I get it. And we kind of measured and we're like, all right, it'll fit, no problem. So
Mhm.
Sunday we went to go get it. We thought it was going to fit in the back of the Highlander. It wouldn't fit in the back of the Highlander. It was like this much too wide. So we're like, well,
Mm.
shit. But when we went to go pick it up, what was funny, it was in a dispensary. The guy was like, he owns a dispensary, had it in the dispensary to go to the dispensary to pick it up. So we saw it and I went, oh fuck, this damn thing is 6 feet tall, so it's taller than I am. It's about
Mhm.
4 feet wide and almost 2 feet deep. It is huge, and it's all iron, except the doors are glass. There's a thick glass on the thing. It's a mirrored back, and the behind that is like, this thing is ridiculous. So it wouldn't fit in the Highlander. So we actually ended up having to, there's a U-Haul right down the street. So we ended up going and renting a U-Haul van because it was all he had. So we rented the U-Haul van, came back to the dispensary, put it in the U-Haul van, drove the U-Haul van back up to the house. So that was again on the 51. I swear to God, back and forth on the goddamn 51. And then drove the thing back down. The thing is currently sitting in our kitchen because the back room is ridiculous because it's full of boxes and shit from the back. So the thing is in our kitchen, and it is huge. Now, as we were driving back down, Dee's like, well, let me see, because I always love finding stuff like that and then trying to find it online. Like, what is the retail value on this, right? So we're looking at it. The damn thing retails for over $4,000. We got it for about 98% off. Because we're fucking awesome like that. So that was really cool. I'm really excited to finally get everything situated so we can move it into the back room. We're actually going to hire Ashley Bear at some point. If those of you who don't know who Ashley Bear is, Ashley has done a lot of my badass like evening wear and stuff. And Ashley's going to come out and like paint the walls and stuff with like a giant like kraken and shit. It's going to look fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. So that was the weekend. It was crazy. Today, for those of you playing along at home, I went to the allergist because, 3 random attacks of anaphylaxis. Probably need to figure out what the hell's going on, right? So good news is I'm not allergic to anything.
Huh?
Nothing. The bad news is that means I need to go in for blood, urine, and a CT scan of my sinuses to figure out what the fuck is actually wrong. He says he thinks it's probably a histamine intolerance because that not being allergic to anything, that's about the only thing that really makes sense at this point. After they did like the little pokey test thing on me, whatever, he comes back in and he sits down and he goes, well, thanks for nothing. I'm like, you're welcome. This is job security for you. I'm one of those like mystery cases, which tracks.
Oh,
that's about right.
Sounds right for your record. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's yeah. So we don't know what's wrong, but the good news is I'm not allergic to anything, which means that I don't have to worry about not being able to eat anything because that would really piss me the fuck off. So there. That was
Wow.
That's very exciting.
You're so special.
I am a special snowflake.
I bet
Guido,
you.
how was your weekend? Though I can take a guess.
God. Well,
Can't imagine what you would be doing.
Starts Friday. So the week prior to Fanfusion is always the did you build all of the things you're building and bringing? I spent 8 hours working on a prop that I think is the cherry on top of the drag extravaganza that starts at 7 p.m. So a lot of love and effort went into it. It's impressive. I don't want to spoil, but it's about twice as tall as I am. So
I'm excited. I saw it. I'm like, this is so exciting.
If anybody's a size queen, this is the prop for them. Otherwise,
I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
Otherwise, making sure that everybody gets their proper way to get into con. I don't want any of my beloved people, not just kings, queens, burlesque performers, circus performers, dancers, panelists. Everybody has to have a little email sent to them so they have their code to show when they get there and they get their badge. The system technology is not perfect that sends those out. And I keep asking people, did you get it? And sometimes they say no. And then there becomes a whole back and forth email chain of me trying to make sure they get what they need so they don't get stuck outside of the building on Friday, because I don't want to, in the middle of, say, prepping for a drag in burlesque, have to drop what I'm doing to come and get one more person in.
I got mine, so we don't have to worry about that, and that's the only thing that matters.
Oh, I need to check my email.
Oh my God, Felicia, Jesus Christ.
I got it. I just have been, to be honest, everyone, since we're putting, oh my God, Felicia, I'm overwhelmed with life, and I nearly had a breakdown yesterday, so fuck all of y'all. And it is what it is. I'm trying to make things work. That's just where I am. So, and Brandon is stuck outside of the thing.
Brandon broke it. I don't know what he did, but he broke it. God.
Felicia,
No
are you
idea.
all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
All
I
right.
just
Do you want to try and troubleshoot him, and I can go on to the tip?
I've been trying to troubleshoot him. I'm not shooting them. So
Oh my
this
God.
is
So
just go.
while we're trying to figure out Brandon, we'll get them situated. Hopefully we'll be able to troubleshoot them and get them on, because that would be great. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about our tip tonight. So our
The anticipation.
what happened? That was
I
weird.
don't know. I was the only one for a second. That was
You
so
were. That
cool.
was really weird. I don't know what the hell happened.
What happened?
What was? No idea. I blame Brandon.
Like, you all with me. You just are like, here you go, Guido.
All of a sudden,
Show
Guido
now.
was the only one there.
It gave him the show. What the hell?
But now Guido's
Hold on.
frozen.
No, he's there for me.
Oh, he's showing frozen on my on my end. That's really weird. Okay, so
I'm gonna
that was
disappear
bizarre.
for a moment. Hold on.
So my tip is inspired by a number of things. One of the things is when we did sex trivia a couple weekends ago, I mentioned bringing your own lubricant to things like the OBGYN because KY is shit. And then last week, while we were talking about toys and the fact that you could get things and different stuff like on Amazon or whatever, someone said that you can buy KY on Amazon. And I immediately said, no, the fuck you do not. Period. So tonight we're going to talk about lube. Yay, lube. Whoopee, lube. So in a nutshell, stay the fuck away from KY and Astroglide. Astroglide. That's it. That's my tip. We're done. That's it. Don't fucking use KY. Don't use Astroglide. Just don't.
I think that's the shortest
just
tip
don't.
on record.
Yep, that's it. That's my tip. Just stay away from it. So here's the thing. KY and Astroglide, while they're readily available pretty much everywhere and they're relatively cheap, there are reasons for that. Just like you get what you pay for when it comes to toys, you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to lube. So one of the most popular KY products is the KY Yours and Mine, right? So it's like got his and hers, yours and mine, blah, 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 blah. First of all, it's not compatible with condoms. You can't use it with condoms. It also contains fun things like honey, sucralose, and flavor, whatever the fuck that is. Just flavor. Honey can cause things like yeast infections. Do not use honey or sugar or anything like that anywhere that is like dark and moist. That is a yeast infection waiting to happen, and I will not feel sorry for you if you decide to put honey in your hoo-ha. Period. Won't feel sorry for you. Won't feel sorry for you at all. Sorry, not sorry. Hey, there they are. Thank God. Just in time to learn about lube.
Sorry for taking so long. I just had to go. I went to the studio instead, and it seems to be working in here.
Oh my God. Bizarre. So yeah, the KY natural feeling, which is supposed to be like, ugh. So always look at the ingredients, folks. Always look at the fucking ingredients. The KY natural feeling contains things like propylene glycol, which if you don't know what propylene glycol is, it's a synthetic liquid that absorbs water in a lubricant.
Not a lubricant.
Why the fuck would you put something that absorbs water into a lubricant? Like, what the hell sense does that even make? I mean, it's also used as an antifreeze. So I don't know why the fuck you'd want to put that in a lubricant either. And why you would want to put that then in sensitive areas. Don't do that shit. Just don't. Don't do that shit. It also has sodium saccharine, which is the solid form of the artificial sweetener saccharine. Why would you have a solid form of anything in lubricant? Like, what? So just don't. Don't buy KY. Don't use it. Don't. You're more likely to end up with irritation, with an infection, and generally not a pleasant feeling. Like, I know a lot of people that would say that they were sensitive to lubricant, that they were sensitive to toys. They're not sensitive to toys or lubricant. They were using KY or Astroglide. So when it comes to Astroglide, Astroglide, regular old Astroglide, just the regular bottle of fucking Astroglide. It also contains propylene glycol, which, remember, is also used as an antifreeze. It also contains an ingredient called polyquaternium 15. Now, polyquaternium 15, not good.
Right.
Apparently, polyquaternium 22 and 39 have been deemed safe for cosmetics and stuff. However, number 15 is a skin toxin and allergen, and it's a formaldehyde releasing chemical. Don't put formaldehyde releasing chemicals into your junk or near your junk or on your. Don't do it.
But imagine the
The
mutation.
Astroglide. Oh my god.
Gross.
That's how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles turned green.
Question.
Oh no!
By
And they're
using
not?
Astroglide.
Astroglide.
Do you do a brand sponsorship from a lube company for your show? Like you would endorse the brand of it, and because man,
if we could get a sponsorship, I would be tickled pink because let me tell you.
I'm up for being tickled
So
pink.
the Astroglide Natural Feel contains phenoxyethanol, which is a preservative and a stabilizer, and can also trigger allergic reactions and eczema. So again, stay the fuck away from KY and Astroglide. Just seriously don't. You're just going to end up with all sorts of issues. Just don't do it. When it comes to oils, don't fucking use oils as a lubricant. Don't use olive oil. Don't use coconut oil. I don't give a fuck if you call yourself a hippie. I don't give a fuck. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And why is that?
Do it. Oils can clog pores. So when you have an oily skin, what tends to happen? Breakouts, acne. You want acne on you can get acne on your junk. And people with vaginas can end up with things like breakouts and acne inside.
Oh.
Just think about that. You want to deal with that? Because I sure as fuck do not want to deal with that. Do not want to deal with that.
Inside,
oils also aren't compatible with condoms. Like, oh god, oils can also they can trap bacteria both in the anus and the vagina and can lead to infections and yeast infections. Don't do it. Just if you there's still some weird stigmas about lube. I remember like back in the day, people would say, well, if they need lube, then obviously you're not doing your job right. No, first of all, that's bullshit. Lubricant is fantastic. I highly recommend having lube no matter what the hell you're doing. Always have lube. The lube that I use and the lube that I will absolutely recommend is Sliquid. And the reason is because number one, Sliquid has no weird shit in it. None of the weird ingredients that I just mentioned, none of it.
But the name.
It's all plant-based ingredients. Sliquid Sassy, which is the pink one, is a little bit thicker. It lasts longer, and it's fantastic for anal play. It's great for toys. It's great for everything. I highly recommend using the Sliquid Sassy. It's the pink one. Sliquid, Sliquid, like liquid, but Sliquid because it's slick.
I'm taking notes.
So that is what I would highly recommend for whatever you're using it for. It's compatible with everything. It works really well. It's nice and slippery. It's good and thick. And no weird shit like formaldehyde releasing chemicals.
Liquid.
There you go. That's the one. That's what I use. That's what I would recommend.
Now we need to get a brand sponsorship from Sliquid.
That man, that's what we need is a fucking sponsorship. Haven't we gotten any like? I'm like, I use
haven't
it.
been on point.
I'm like, this is what I use. Like, we buy it by the bucketful. I swear to God.
Bucket? They sell it by the bucket here? A pillow. What is this?
Just saying.
Oh,
That's just yeah. No,
For
those
under
like
your
little-
pillow.
right? Instead of mints.
oh.
Instead of putting like mint and chocolate on your pillow, hotels should just start leaving little packets of like lubes and condoms. Just saying.
Wow.
I mean, you know. Yeah. So again, basically stay away from KY, Astroglide, and oils. Do not buy Astroglide, do not buy KY, and I swear to God, if there's ever any sort of a situation where you and I are naked somewhere and you reach for the lube, if you reach for something and it's either a tube of KY or a bottle of Astroglide, I'm out. Out. Just saying. So
do you tell the folks you play with that you use a particular lube?
You've had fair warning. Ow.
Yes,
I mean, you're assuming I play with anybody except my partner these days. Armchair Polly. Armchair Polly. Armchair Polly.
Yikes.
Polly in theory.
And D.
Polly in theory.
Right.
What? I actually stayed at a friend's who often hosted people, and she asked
Felicia, why do I have the like?
Just close it.
I have like
because
I don't know how. Oh, there it is. I'm like, I can't find it.
It's because I contacted support to get Brandon connected.
I'm like, I have things popping up and I don't know what's happening.
I also was going through a panic trying to get connected.
I actually stayed at a friend's house who hosted people often, and she asked baskets of lube, toothbrush.
So think like if you're a house,
like a
often
hotel.
Have like no, like parties and things. So if you are either like, say you belong to the swinger community or something like that, and like you stay at this person's house, and like they'll have things like baskets of necessities, lube, condoms, toothbrushes, things like that, you know, because if you're there, you never know when you're gonna need to brush your teeth. I'm like,
yeah, please brush.
I don't know about being prepared. I really only have one thing on our current events.
It was sad. I think part of yesterday's awkwardness for me was hearing this. Excuse me. Another 18-year-old went in with an assault rifle and committed a mass murder at an elementary school in Texas, killing 19. I believe that they're watching 2 other students and keeping an eye on them, and 2 teachers who have passed away because of this mass shooting. The shooter also shot his grandmother and posted online that he was going.
That's a real like hero right there. Let's go after a bunch of 4th graders. Like, you're a badass motherfucker.
And his
I mean, not that I condone any of this at all, but also they shot and killed him, whereas in other cases they and somebody sent me a video of like people that have committed mass shootings, and then so like most of the people that are dead are brown, and most of the people that are alive and getting sentenced in jail for life in prison, which almost sounds like we're kind of giving them a time to live.
Well, they're very fine people, and we love them.
They bought Dylan Roof Burger King.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
Wow.
that.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and
All the
so
white shooters get taken into custody and get Burger
and they're
King.
not and some of the headlines read way deeper when it's a brown or black person. And so not that I condemn killing people or giving them Burger King or whatever, but if we're going to treat people equally, either you kill them or you don't. But it's just very strange and very disheartening. I saw something just before I got ready about what's his name, former Representative Beto.
O'Rourke.
Oh,
Yes.
Beto O'Rourke.
Yep.
Yes, and he was screaming at the governor of Texas because he again sits at this table and is surrounded by people, and he says, thoughts and prayers, which everybody should really be upset. There was a basketball coach that is on tape saying that he's very disappointed, and I
Sorry, the brother
too.
killed the shooting.
Yes. And so I too think that so for me personally, I had a cousin that was killed by a stray bullet. So I know that it affects your family so much. Even if you say they really didn't mean to do it, fuck you.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like gun control is a thing. Ask
Now we have
Australians
literally two
how many times they've
18-year-olds
had.
who managed to get their hands on fucking AR-15 assault rifles. Two 18-year-olds who literally, like, right after they turned 18 went and bought these fucking assault rifles. Are you kidding me right now? That's bullshit. Bullshit. Tell me again how you're pro-life. Don't care. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it at all. I don't care anymore.
Once you're out of the womb, they no longer care. It's only while you're being gestated that they're pro-life. Once you
So I'm
exit the body of a woman, all bets are off.
No, they're not even pro-life. Call it what it is. They're pro-forced birth. That's what it is. That's it.
D says, I'm angry that that where I work is now planning an active shooter drill. We have infants to fourth graders. The fact that this is a need. Also, because I'm in communications, have to be a part of these drills because we're now thinking about having active shooter drills. But you never know where they're coming from, and they're always a surprise in every instance, because that's the part that gets the shooter their high, right?
Right.
So they're not. I mean, they leave clues. In this case, this guy went online, so I don't know why somebody wasn't like at his house before he left, but
Apparently, it was a Facebook message, is what they determined. So it wasn't like a direct
Right.
post.
And prior to that, the Buffalo shooter live
I'm
streamed.
telling you. Oh yes, but I just feel that there's often too many people that know before the fact. Like,
when
after
I was
they
a kid,
interview
we had
people
tornado drills.
I actually was in high school when the first Columbine happened, when the first like major.
Shooting, active
But I remember that somebody was being a copycat at our high school, and the school went on complete lockdown. It was terrifying. So I can't imagine being like in the fourth grade or in the second grade and seeing this happen before my eyes, because that, again, trauma. And so I don't know.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
It is bullshit.
What was it? Clues are hard. My own kids' elementary school had several instances this year of kids putting shooting warnings in the bathroom. It's awful. But you rather be overly cautious and take everything
Right.
seriously than to say, oh, that's just kids playing, and then
Right.
there's a fifth grader shooting up the lunchroom or something. So
Stupid.
and things like that lead to, and I know that some parents are like, oh my god, my kid shouldn't be part of this, and you're like, oh well, but we'd rather be prepared than your hopsnop kid get shot. So take your choices, take your chances.
That's stupid.
But
Anyway, on to more positive things. Let's talk to our guests. These are our first guests of the season. We're super excited to have them both on. Let's talk about Phoenix Fanfusion. Oh my god.
That is a transition
oh my god.
would love. All right. Hi. So what do you want to talk about?
Do you guys know anything about this? Do you guys know anything about Fanfusion? I don't. I never been.
I'll be painting on stage.
I know Guido doesn't know anything about Phoenix Fanfusion, but we'll talk to him about it anyway.
All right. What do we cover? What is the event? So we host several celebrities that come through. They spend most of the day from 10:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the afternoon hosting celebrity panels in a very large room. Some of the ones featured this year, they have Harvey Guillen from What We Do in the Shadows.
I'm going to take him home, just so you know.
He's great.
I know nothing about this. I plead the fifth if anything happens. Tim Russ from Star Trek Voyager, Captain Janeway herself. My God, her name just fell right out of my head. I'm embarrassed.
Did that hurt?
Kate Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew, thank you.
I may fanboy a little bit, not kidding. I'm also taking Anthony Rapp home with me and possibly Doug Jones. So, baby, it's going to be a party in the hotel room, just so you know.
Doug Jones, Shape of Water, Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies, yeah. They got voice talent, John DiMaggio and Billy West from Futurama. So if you're really into celebrities, they have that to offer. If you're in cosplay, all over the convention, there are people cosplaying in all the things. We have local, local panelists that are just passionate about their fandom. Do they want to have a panel to talk about Star Trek? Yes, we got several of those. Star Wars panels, absolutely. Comic book panels, yes. But we've also got featured more special interests. Like if you want to talk Bridgerton, there's a Bridgerton panel for you. Like there is no one thing to Fanfusion. There's no common thread, and that's part of the joy in it. Is we have people that send us messages and emails that are like, "I am passionate about this and want to talk about it," and we take a litmus test and say, "Yes, we think there are people that share this opinion with you, and it could justify you having a podium in a room to explain it."
It's like fans, different fans are like fusing.
Yes. And then,
I see what you did there. Wow.
Sometimes people will join a new fandom because they'll hear about a thing they've never heard before. Like, wait, there's a show about what now? And we'll talk about like The Boys, which is what if superheroes were real and all jerks? Instead of Superman
and complete fucking assholes,
moral paragons, they just were absolute assholes. And it's hyper violent and written by Garth Ennis. And if you've the comic, the show has been adapted by Eric Kripke, who's doing Supernatural. I am hosting that panel first thing Friday. We're having a difference between The Boys, the show, and the comic. Lots of them. But I feel like they've improved on the source material, my opinion. Anyway, what we also do is we focus on the important thing that I do is I'm a producer for the event, and I bring in panelists to speak. And I have a general philosophy of, in my life as an entertainer and as a producer, what do you do with your privilege? And I don't believe in just making panels that come from people that look like me and sound like me. It's important to get other voices heard for the good of everyone. Diversity strengthens everything. So if you're hearing opinions different than your own, it only helps. And I've been very proud to produce LGBTQ content. When Black Panther the movie dropped, we knew we couldn't have panels just hosted by the most mayonnaise Americans. We needed people of color to come and say, what did this film mean to you? To explain it to the people that don't have the same background and culture. And it clicked.
So kind of along those lines, I actually found out, or I realized, I knew, but it was like an aha moment. Same but different. I realized, because we're talking about, you know, how you want to have people that are part of that experience or part of that like group to be able to speak on that experience. And I just had an aha moment this weekend that a book that is written about an Afro-Latino trans kid is written by a white cisgender woman. And this is a book that is often encouraged, is one that is often found in a lot of like classrooms and things. And it occurred to me, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why in the hell? What? Like, it was like a mind blow. I'm like, no, that's not a thing. And just like with panels and stuff like that, when it comes to anything, like I'm not going to be hosting a panel or writing a book about being a Black man in America, because I don't know shit about being a Black man in America. That's
I could
not
tell you
my
something.
journey, not my experience. That's something Felicia could write, not me, especially with a Black gay man. I mean, I could probably do the gay part, not Black. No, like that's not my thing. And too many things, too many experiences are taken over by cishet white folks, and it's not their journey, it's not their experience, and
what do you do with your privilege?
they're
Do you step
overshadowing the voices that need to be uplifted. It's
the people that need to be heard. That's it. That's exactly it.
Privilege and allyship is something that Teddy, Michael, and I talk about often in our How to Be a Trans Ally and From Allies to Accomplices, leaping into action. So if anybody needs to have that for like either their corporate or anything, if you let me know, we can arrange.
We're talking about Fanfusion. We don't need your plug here. Thank you.
Just it was about allyship. It's fine.
My goodness. My goodness. So, yes.
Sorry. Speaking of representation at Fanfusion, there was many a year where the producers would, they had a burlesque show, and then they would always kick around like, well, what about a drag show? And
we thank them for
finally got to a point where it's like, it's past due, it's time. And we had to go out and find all of the beautiful and talented kings and queens that we are lucky to get to be able to showcase and say, this is literally a community of the heroes of the LGBTQ community. They are the loudest, the most out, and the proudest. And that's how the show was set up. It was the Queen Lantern Corps. Like it was its own.
That we're not all queens, but that's okay.
No, but the kings as well. I cannot even. I am so proud of all of the kings, Freddy, yourself included. But many.
I was going to say, well,
every time I turn around, the kings are doing something astounding. Like I see some costume, some idea, some song and character hook that is just magical, and I cannot even with what keeps coming from the creativity from the local king community. I don't know that Phoenix is aware how lucky they are that they have like that level of creativity just sitting right there.
We try, but it's like I always say, and like I think I said to you, we put in twice the effort for half the recognition.
Well, if you try, you're succeeding as far as I'm concerned. And
I mean, we
do
what we can.
On the queens.
Most of them are just like, fuck it. You want to call kings boring? Hold my beer.
I do not understand anybody that's like, kings are boring. I'm like, excuse me? Like, what do you?
I've
I
never
am
said that.
so damned entertained. Like,
So
I have
Guido,
never said
what are
that.
you most excited about for Fanfusion? It could be anything. It could be a guest. It could be whatever. What are you most excited for?
I mean, I'm gonna exclude the panels I'm running because obviously I'm not gonna say I like hearing the sound of my own voice. I'm not that vain.
It's okay.
I
You
am
can.
looking very forward to the energy that happens at the drag show. Like, it's palpable. Like, I can't relate to you. Like, we get feedback in the on the website for Fanfusion, the company Square that runs it. So they came to me Sunday in 2019, which is maybe within 48 hours we did the drag show, and they said, like, you're doing that again. And I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, I want to, but okay, it's not a choice. What happened? And they're like, all of the feedback is positive. All of the feedback is positive. Do you understand? Like, our like fans never agree on anything. It's like maybe Baby Yoda and the drag show at con. That's it. And
Wow.
that's how well received the show was. And
I have
I
never seen anybody fill a room so quickly because I thought, oh, just a cute little drag show, in the convention center. No, it was full boots. I was like, wow.
I'm
it was a
excited.
big room. Like, everybody, I remember apologizing, like, I'm sorry that you're changing in this room, and having some of the queens be like, oh, we're used to changing in bathrooms. Like, don't eat. This is
We've literally changed in bathrooms where people are coming in to use the bathroom.
yeah, yeah. So it was a different venue
It's
than
not a lie.
a lot of the talent was expecting, and then to get like an audience that was thirsty for it and like poured into the room. It it only is going to get bigger now because it's been 3 years.
Right.
We haven't had the convention, and all of the general signs that is the hype real. I'm a little almost afraid, but not, like, how excited everybody is to come back. It's been a rough stretch, everybody's been locked up, and then now is this it? Is this the first big gathering that's happening in Phoenix in 3 years? And yeah, it looks that way. And I'm I don't even know how much energy there's going to be. If I get my way, it's going to be palpable. It's going to be just a massive, just audience talent exchange. Like, it's going to be feeding each other in between every performance. Like, I've got a really good feeling, and I'm not an optimist normally, but
I'm just glad I'm not at US of A this week, so I actually get to do it.
I'm
this time.
glad you're not in Dallas and you're here this time, because it was teased, your potential appearance, and then you had a
I
commitment.
know. I was so mad.
And I'm not gonna lie, I get greedy sometimes. Like, I see local performers,
I was contractually obligated to be in Dallas.
it's
There's nothing I can
fine,
do.
it's fine. I'm not even mad. Just it's I
I
get
was mad.
I just it's like
He sure was.
I want every talented person in the show, and it's like you can't have everybody because people go to pageants and are committed and they perform at other places downtown. This show is a one weekend gig. People need to take regular work. I get it. But if they're here, it's important on a lot of levels, because for most of the people that come, it's their first drag show. Like, this is their Fanfusion is they're there for it, and then they're probably going to go to their first drag show because conveniently you're coming to them, and we're honored to have you. And yeah, that's the feeling that I'm looking forward to a lot. I'm looking forward to Baby Yoda Bash too. Just a room full of people that haven't been able to have any kind of safe dance nightclub vibe, and getting everybody together for that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they brought me in for primetime events as a producer. They just knew I usually work graveyard shift and I have
Wait.
no problem being awake until 2 a.m. So I kind of fell into it, I think. But then I don't screw it up. Like, hashtag better than mediocre.
That's
So
good. Better than mediocre. That's good.
Wonderful.
Speaking of
wonderful.
mediocre, Brandon McGill.
Oh my god!
That's a segue. What the fuck were you doing?
A tarot card.
Wait.
It's too late. You can't. It's already gone to print.
I haven't printed it yet, so I can still replace you.
I have questions.
No, you can't.
Where
I'm
did
irreplaceable.
your shirt go? Where did your
I'm
shirt
having,
go?
I'm having a little wardrobe changes. Now I'm in a little scarf.
Okay.
It went the same
I was gonna
place.
say, because if
Have you
it
not-
goes
I've
any
had
further,
hats on. I've had different outfits on.
I was gonna say if it goes any
he's
further,
just
we're gonna have to
sitting
go
there.
to OnlyFans.
They're just sitting there changing everything as they go. Like that's just yeah.
I saw.
So Brandon,
they
what
were
the fuck are
taking
you
their
doing
shirt
at
off.
Fanfusion this weekend?
So after, of course, Fanfusion has been out of commission the last couple of years. We're finally back for our annual stage show where we paint 5 different models with 5 different artists. We're in room 232. We're taking up actually 3 different spaces, so 232 A, B, and C. It's a pretty large space. We'll be there for a couple of hours. It's usually a pretty popular draw, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. I'm doing a Beetlejuice and meets Poison Ivy Decrepit Garden, kind of a remix will be my reveal. So
That's
you guys
awesome.
are hearing about it now.
your Saturday night?
Friday night at 8 p.m.
Friday night at 8.
Yeah. So there's a lot of wonderful entertainment and there's all sorts of good options. And so I know.
Wait, you're on at the same time we are?
Oh yeah, I'll be competing with other panels. Unfortunately, that happened last year too, where there was a lot of panels I wanted to go to, and they were at the exact same time as mine. Unfortunately, I don't choose what day. That's more of Mark's doing. But we're gonna have a great time, and hopefully we'll see as many people as we can see.
So I have a question for you. In the past, a lot of the artists have used models that were traditionally attractive, skinny and white.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more diversity in the models this year?
So a couple of big things happened this year. This year, I had a hand in choosing one of the artists, which is super new. Sorry about that.
Hello?
I fixed that.
Hey, I have real quick. I have a quick question, Guido. Question from folks: is the drag show 18 and over?
No, as far as I know, it is all ages. And
yeah, that's what I thought. The drag shows, that's okay. That's what I thought. Somebody said that they said it was 18 and over. I'm like, no, it's all ages.
The same for Brandon's event and drag. If it says 18 and over, the way it's handled, it's like an R-rated movie. If you go and your mom doesn't know about it, they're not going to card you. They're just saying this is not meant for you. But we're not saying no, you're forbidden from entering.
Intended for mature audiences.
I could look it up. It should be all ages.
Intended for mature audiences.
I am pretty sure that Brandon's body painting involving the nude is more than likely.
Where'd the hat go? I like the hat.
Because online, the tickets for the drag show say they're 18 and over.
The VIP ones?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Just FYI.
I like that.
So anyway, go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
So our event is 18 up because there are topless women. So one of the first things I did to kind of bring diversity is, of course, I paint usually a male model. But traditionally, it is a lot of female models who are very aesthetically pleasing for some people. So what I did this year is because I had a hand in choosing one of the artists, I invited my friend Danielle Devon, who is an amazing black makeup artist here locally, who does incredible work. He's worked with Charles Barkley, all sorts of different NBA teams. And she's done body painting, and she's a great body artist. And I had her on the CW segment with me when we did Black History Month, and we transformed a couple people.
I remember that. That.
Yeah. So that was my first time working with her. And I'm like, you know what? Wouldn't that be great if I could get her front and center, in a place
lovely.
that normally, been exposed to, right? That's not normally her audience. And vice versa. Now we're exposing people to her. Speaking of which, sorry, someone is calling me to try to get me to paint them on Saturday. That's why you heard all those noises.
Yeah.
So it's good to be in demand, but gotta wait.
Dang.
I have an answer.
And of course, I'm working on my tarot deck. That's why I'm wearing my lovely magician's hat that I made myself. And then on Friday, I'll be revealing the Beetlejuice Poison Ivy kind of monstrosity that I've been working on.
I'm bummed I won't get to see that.
Me too. It should be a lot of fun, but we'll have pictures, I'm sure.
That does no justice. It's better to see things in person.
That's true.
When you can. When you can.
This hat in person looks really cool. I wish you guys could see how neat it is.
No, that is neat. I'm constantly distracted by it. It's like half like royal, Easter with royal and like pagan as hell at the same time.
It's
I saw it when it was still in progress, and it was pretty badass then. So
it's inspired by a video game that I'm also developing. So I thought I would make the real life version of it.
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm so excited for my tarot deck, which is featuring both of you, which you'll both still be in the deck. I adore you both.
Oh, thank you.
I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we still are featured.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm writing about everyone. I wrote like a little note about everyone. That's why I've been asking you about pronouns, because people's pronouns have changed since I started the project. And so I just wanted to do a refresh with everyone and make sure I'm on the same page, because my pronouns changed too. I came out as non-binary since starting the project.
I know, and I apologize. I keep switching back and forth. Like I keep saying he, and then I catch myself and correct it. So I apologize for any slips. My bad.
It's okay. I understand. And people have still been adjusting. As long as people do it with good intent and they're not trying to do it maliciously, then I'm like, hey, you're trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when does the tarot card come out?
So the tarot deck is still in the publishing phase, and I'm making sure they have all the materials before I know like a specific date. But I'm thinking probably like July-ish. It seems like where we're at. I originally was thinking June, but now I'm thinking probably July or early August is where we seem to be. But I'm working on the book right now, the digital deck, the rest of the stickers. I've been kind of posting daily updates of all the stuff that I've been doing. But it's been a hustle. It's a lot of work. I painted,
and you've been working on it for a long fucking time at this point.
Well, I found out I didn't feel so bad because I've talked to other people who hand draw tarot decks, and they're like, "Oh, it takes me 3 years to do this," and I'm like, "Oh, what took me 3 years and a pandemic to paint 87 people?" So I guess I don't feel so bad. Like maybe I'm not doing so terrible that it feels like it's taken forever. But in the grand scheme of things, compared to other artists, it's about where that time should be, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
then I have my new project coming out next month, which is based on the multiverse concept. So that's why I'm doing the Beetlejuice meets Poison Ivy. Is I want to mix different franchises together and come up with new characters.
Oh.
We're asking for that in June.
Oh my goodness.
That'll be fun.
Take my money.
And then the tour. So hopefully everything will work out.
My goodness. You're always doing something. But I always enjoy seeing what's next. And if you follow Brandon on Patreon, then you get to see what's next first.
And all the uncensored pictures.
And I support you both.
Oh yeah, that's a plus too. That's a plus too.
I'm on there. Also, not a brag, but I've made like $7,000 on OnlyFans since starting it on my birthday as a joke.
Oh wow.
So, we're doing all the things.
Is that only showcasing art?
It's mostly me or people I've painted who are also on OnlyFans. Because I've worked with a couple famous models recently, and I've been going to LA and working with different porn stars and stuff. So, yeah.
I have to figure out what my niche is. Now that I don't have a title, I can have an OnlyFans.
Hey.
I just think that what I just need to do is, we've talked about this, I just need to like set up a channel where all I do is give disapproving dad looks and lecture you about changing your oil.
I love it. I love it.
I can do it naked. I'm fine with that. I can do it naked. That's fine. But
I did this on my OnlyFans. I painted this with my penis.
Did that hurt? I feel like that probably hurt.
it.
Do what?
I feel like that probably was not comfortable.
Oh, I had chafing and like I was in pain for 2 days afterwards.
Was it
I knew somebody that painted an entire painting with her vagina once.
Oh my god. It was so time consuming, and for you to use it as a paintbrush, you have to be the entire time.
Oh.
So that gets tiring. 2 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah, 2 hours.
I mean, wouldn't it just be easier to not though? Like,
I wanted to like challenge myself because I'm always trying to give myself difficult projects, as you know.
Was the chafing worth it?
Very hard. Very hard.
I'll probably do a trio of them. I'll do a couple more and just call it. But yeah, we'll see. It was fun. I like trying new things.
Maybe a softer material
that was skin friendly, other than the chafing. I mean,
do what?
We had a whole talk about lube earlier, so
yeah. Well, I heard later on that people did do different things to like create a barrier or like use a condom or different stuff like that. But I just went into it dry, just like, let's see.
Oh my! Oh,
oh God, Brandon, Jesus! What if you got paint in your pee hole?
I probably did. I was just like, hey, this is fine.
Brandon, Gill.
Like a mix of acrylic.
Guido's not frozen for me anymore. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the show, of course.
Yeah.
He's never been frozen for me, so I don't know.
He was frozen for me like since we had the weird glitchy thing. Guido was frozen the entire time. Now he's not frozen.
Frozen, the Disney Frozen or Madonna's Frozen? Just checking.
Yes.
Yes. Sure.
I feel like I need to do some like mashup now.
But I would love to have you in my new project if you guys want to do some mashups.
Oh.
I am totally here for it. I think we could figure out something badass.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. We could do something totally badass. Brandon, what are you most excited for Fanfusion? Other than like your own shit, obviously. Is there a celebrity you're excited about seeing? Is there a panel that you're excited? Like, what now?
Say it again.
I said John Barrowman. I don't know what.
Oh my God, I forgot he was coming. I'm taking him home too.
Yeah, I don't know what day he's at or what he's doing. I just know he's there. I have to see him.
I'm gonna have one hell of a party.
I'm turning this off.
Hotel room. I'm just saying.
John Barrowman is always one of the best guests because of how much he gives. Like, he's down for whatever in photo sessions with fans, like how he poses.
He's fantastic. Like everything I've ever heard about him is like, he's just an awesome dude. Like he's here for the fans. Like he's all about that shit. So I forgot
he's living fan service.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know anybody that I could name, like, as far as guests go, that's more accommodating to the crowds than John Barrowman. Like, hands down. Hands down.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
He's definitely my kind of vibe. And he's so, like, fluid with his appearance, and he's just fun and crazy and kooky.
And sexy.
And sexy, yeah.
God, I hope he comes to the drag show. I hope he goes to the
right. He has great legs.
I told my partner that the entire weekend she has to walk around with a picture of me normal, because I'm like, look, if there's some like really hot dads at like story hour, then like we could work that shit, but you have to show them a picture of what I actually look like without a bunch of shit on my face. So like because I like in face, I'm very winning. I have an amazing personality. Yeah, okay. I'm not in drag all weekend, but I'm in mostly drag all weekend because I'm going to be in with a whole bunch of face on Friday. Saturday, I'm going to be in mostly face, and I'm going to have Borg shit all over my face. And then Sunday, I may not be in drag, but I'm going to have literally a mask over my face. Literally a mask over my face. I'm the man in black. Like, Dread Pirate Roberts. No one's going to fucking see me. So you have to have a picture of me looking normal to show the hot dads at Story Hour.
Plus, we have kids in tow, is what she said.
They're fine.
They understand. They're fine.
They know, and they're in a different room, and we'll just tell them to put their TV on really loud. It'll be fine. And ignore anything they might hear through the wall. It's fine. It's fine.
My goodness.
I actually got an answer to that question like from way back. I almost forgot. The 18 plus thing. So
yes.
The description of the drag show says nothing about 18 plus. But if you're going and you want to buy front of house, it's a $25, but you're guaranteed seats in the front like few rows of the venue to see the drag show. On that description, it says 18 plus if you're buying front of house.
And correct.
So
that was what it was.
You have to be 18 plus to buy a VIP ticket?
You don't. But I feel like that's almost like at SeaWorld where they tell you if you sit in the first few rows, you might get wet.
It's the splash zone,
that might be
basically.
The same thing. That might be the same thing.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I get it. No, it's fine. The kids will be like behind somewhere. I'll be like, look, see that cute dad over there? Go over there, look at that like booth or something and pretend that you don't know us. Just go over there. It's fine. It'll be fine. We'll plan it out with the kids. It'll be fine. Like, look.
But some of the dads
I'm going to be macking on somebody. I need you to not be like, hangers on.
You're not
like,
a very good
don't
wing
make me
person.
Seem like, just it'll be fine.
Not a very good wing person. My goodness.
Me?
No, her.
What do you mean I'm not a very good wing person? Actually, no.
I said
the
her.
Kids, see, what will happen is the kids, I know that, but see, the kids, rather than bringing like not available vibes, the second we're like hitting on somebody, they'll be like, excuse me, do you build things or like can you paint or we need to know what it is that you can bring to this household.
Oh, what is the
you
value
can date
you can bring?
They've already said that that's the deal. If we bring anybody else in, they have to be able to contribute somehow. And they already have a chef, so they don't need one. I'm like, what the So, just be aware anybody that may be listening to this, that may be watching this and think, oh my God, Freddy's really hot. And his partner's kind of cool too. Anybody that might contemplate getting in on this like non-existent polycule right now.
What are we doing
just
here?
To let you know, you need to have some sort of like value. Do you do yard work? Like, can you build things? Do you do woodworking? Leatherworking would be great if you can do leatherworking. Like, can you build props? Like, there are plenty of things. Like, you just need to have something. So just keep that in mind before you send in an application. Thank you.
That sounds exhausting.
Not like we're getting a whole ton of people that are like, yes, take me. It's fine. It's because I look
like that hat.
Thank you. I got it in Vegas.
I think Holly was distracted by the blinky.
I had it
what gigs do we have coming up?
Well, we're gonna be at Phoenix Fanfusion on Friday, Saturday.
I'm excited.
I heard that.
June 4th, I'm going to be up in Carefree at the English Rose Tea Room. I'll be performing as Elton John, and there'll be a handful of other folks up there doing other British impersonations. I don't know. It'll be fun. I just go where I'm told. June 17th, we've got at Cat Bingo.
Yes. And it'll be Pride themed, maybe? I don't know. Because we'll just have a weekend of Pride themed.
All the Pride themed. I need to find more rainbow shit. God damn it.
Oh, we didn't talk about something else. Speaking of Pride in Arizona, and have you guys not seen this? There's a guy that has threatened to hunt LGBTQ plus people
Yeah,
at Target specifically
I
during the
tweeted
month
about
of
it.
June. So be aware. Be aware of your surroundings.
Apparently,
'cause
the
they're-
FBI have already snagged him or something.
I know, but I also am worried about copycats.
Correct.
Just because he
Because this
got
is
caught.
Arizona.
Just because he got caught doesn't mean
You
that
hope
somebody
that's
else
a
won't
lone
do it.
wolf, but there could be a pack.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kill the vibe, but Pride themed for Cat Bingo and Sex Trivia, which is June 17th and 18th. And then Freddy is joining folks up in Washington.
I am heading to Centralia, Washington.
That's a fun name.
In the week after Sex Trivia. I'm actually going to be joining Sophia Sinclair up there for Lewis County Pride. She invited me. I'm very excited. I believe there are a few other Phoenix entertainers going to be heading up that way as well. And then right after I come back, I'm going to be in Albuquerque on July 2nd. And then again, this is you got a month and a half. This is your warning. This is a month and a half warning. July 16th, my birthday weekend. I'm at Lady
Should
on the
we
Rocks.
make reservations right now? Is this what
I don't know
you're
if they're making
saying?
taking reservations right now. I would wait.
Will you
till,
find out for us
July.
since you keep bothering us about this?
I'm gonna keep bothering you too until it happens. So this is your fair warning to come, kick it at the Rock on July 16th because it's my birthday weekend. Just saying.
Oh.
Just saying. You have fair warning. Put it on your calendars.
You look good for 82.
Thank you.
It's the mustache,
Thank you.
I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, on that note, since we're going downhill fast. Thank you to our guest for joining us. Thank you, Guido. Thank you, Brandon, for joining us. And you can see them at Phoenix Fanfusion this weekend. Brandon is
Guido
painting at
will be the
same time.
one running around like a chicken with his head cut off trying to wrangle people.
Sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah. And then Brandon will be painting at the same time that we're performing. So don't go see them.
It'll be a shame that you'll miss Brandon, but you'll be able to see pictures later.
Or you can go to both.
Well, consider this. He's painting, but he starts at 8. If you're getting there to watch the whole process, but when you get there, if you're catching it in progress after drag,
Oh, that's true.
you're getting to see the final roll up to it being finished.
This is true. So you can come see us first.
Yeah.
You can come see us
can do
first
both.
and then mosey on over to see Brandon.
After we go on, of course.
Correct. Because by the time we're done, Brandon will probably just be getting his paint set up.
I'll be done. I'll moved on to another person.
Oh.
No.
We've all seen you paint. You're all like,
Where
where did
a body painting event where they have
where
to
did I
throw
put the
parts
blue?
down everywhere to make sure we don't get paint on everything?
I think blue somewhere. Where did my
I think
blue
they're a
go?
little more
What's my-
organized when they're in person. When it's in the studio, it's more of like, where did I put stuff? I think so. I feel like the in-person events are more like, I know where things are. I know what I brought with me. But when you're in the studio, it's like, I think I have this
It's never
somewhere.
like that at a drag show. I don't know what the hell.
You literally only have whatever you bring with you. So it's right in front of you. That's what you've got to work with. Which is fun. At a live
That's
show.
totally what happens when I'm traveling with drag is I know exactly where all of my makeup is.
I have forgotten makeup or stuff or brushes for shows. That's fun.
Just
to
paint with a
figure
Q-tip.
out. I always figure it out, but oof.
Like, we're doing finger painting today.
Right?
Please hold still while I finger paint your willy. Thank you.
Not on stage.
I mean, it could be a thing.
That's true.
It could be.
It could be a thing.
But catch us all this weekend at Phoenix Fanfusion. If you see us, please come say hi. Everybody knows I'm terrible with names and faces and everything. And if I've never met you before, I will immediately forget you 5 seconds after you've introduced yourself, not because I want to, but because I'm terrible. So please come say hi.
Thanks for the fair warning.
And make sure that you follow Brandon McGill on all the social media things so that you can pay attention to when their tarot deck actually gets released, and then go buy the tarot deck.
I hope we get to celebrate the tarot deck.
For the pre-order starts in June for the tarot deck, and then I'm hoping we have a party. We'll see.
I'd be good with a party.
Yeah, that's the goal.
I'm down with a party. We can invite the Puerto Ricans that I hung out with this weekend.
Wouldn't it be cool if all the tarot decks, everyone was there in the same room? I think that would be fun.
Oh, will we be painted to represent our...
Do I like everybody? Who's going to be there? Can I get a guest list beforehand, please? I need the guest list beforehand so I can see if I want to go.
Oh, fair. I'm sure some people don't get along after 3 years.
What?
I know people are probably like couples have like broken up, everything. Like, sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Well, that's sorry.
Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you all for watching live, and those that watch on the replay. If you're listening on the podcast, you have saved yourself visually 10 years. And you can thank us for your eyesight later.
I don't know. Felicia put in a lot of effort tonight.
I did not.
No lashes, no blending. It's fine.
Nope. This is my I got in here and this is what I look like. But anyhow, we will see you we'll see you this weekend.
And we'll see you week. It's fine.
Yes, and we'll see you next Wednesday for your Wednesday night conversation. Good night.
Good night.
Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Subscribe to the Let's Have a Fefe podcast. You can listen on your favorite podcatcher. See you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. This has been Let's Have a Fefe. Good night.